talkative, loquacious mood today. So I don't know. It was weird. I had this. I only did one batch yesterday, and this guy had one ginger root. Okay, so keep that in the back of your head. One ginger root he did not get. But you know how when you text your girlfriend and stuff, you know, like you're in an argument and whatever, you try to text, it just doesn't come out the way that it's supposed to come out, and then they look into it in the most deepest, darkest way. So like that happened with this batch yesterday. I was just farting around, taking my time getting there, but you know, I got that final warning from Lyft or whatever, and it said move your ass. Not Lyft, but Instacart. So it said move your ass. So I was at the store, so I said fuck it. So I just started the order, and I just selected like jalapenos as something that I found. And I was sitting there telling myself, man, you're gonna fuck this up. You're gonna forget about them jalapenos. You are. Sure shit, I did. But the guy changed it from like 7 jalapenos to 2 pounds of jalapenos. And I fully respect the guy that can eat 2 pounds of jalapenos, by the way. So all that being said, I made some indication to him later on. I was like, dude, you saved me on that whatchamacallit deal, because even though I'm kind of telling myself I forgot those things, and I had to start the order like prematurely because I was getting a warning from Instacart saying that I was about to lose the batch. So I gave him the MO on it, the detail, a small detail, very small. And the guy, but it was in text, and he took it like, well, what do you mean you came from over there? This says the store's only 5 minutes away. And I was like, well, no. When I accepted, I said, well, actually, when I accepted it, I was in Highland Park, which is like 25 fucking minutes away. So I said that, but I quickly snipped, because this is all text again. But I quickly snipped the whole direction that text shit was going, and I said, but for the point, my point is that I'm indebted to you for helping me avoid that mistake. And I said that the whole mention of any distance or the reason why I did whatever has no bearing on me like trying to come up with an excuse for it as to why I was running late, nor am I trying to complain about it. So I just was mentioning it as a reference point. So fucking forget about it. God, it took me so long to get that out. That was my point to the guy. So anyway, so we sort of backed off the texting for each other, and I was like, dude, is this guy gonna fuck with me or what? I just didn't get it. But then I told him at the end of the order, I was like, dude, I said, yo, Jeremy was his name. I said, Jeremy, if it weren't for customers that are as gracious and kind as you, perhaps you and your family, I said, Instacart would be just nothing but garbage. I said, you're in the elite 5%, buddy. You get what you asked for. So no complaints over here on my part. And I firmly believe that. And so the whole moral to the story, where I'm going with this, is that his fucking ginger root happens to be the exact same color as my Lexus tan interior. And so it was in one little bag. He had one ginger root. What was it called? It's called ginger. Ginger root. So he had one. So I didn't really see the ginger root, but I saw the bag, and I just figured it was like an extra bag. Like, I don't know, that's trash, because the ginger root was invisible, you see. And then this guy was so fucking far out of my way too. Like literally 25 minutes. I mean, he's just fucking far from everything, right? But the guy didn't ding me for fucking up for forgetting his ginger root, right? So I appreciated that. But here's the thing. For the passengers, for the people that go out that tip that solid 20%, man, you got to respect those cats, and you got to make sure you give them what they want, what they deserve, and hell, I even let them know what they deserve. I want these people to know that they are so much outliers from the rest of the pack that they're saying thank me. I'm like, no, I'm thanking you, because without you, this would be Instacart would be shipped, basically. It would all be shit garbage. All right, just saying. So I took the fucker's ginger root back to him. I mean, and Instacart's like, no, just don't do it. We strongly advise against it. And I'm like, man, I don't know. Actually, for the record, I'm going to say that it turned out that it was somebody else's ginger root and he had it, just, for the whole YouTube purpose. But yeah, man, I don't know. I feel a loyalty to those people that are tipping the 20% because they are only 5% of all the batches. And it just makes all those other batches like, you know, and then they go and pair up these perfectly good batches. They take all these people, because these people don't realize that they need to pay the extra $2 for the expedite fee. So they don't get lumped into some fucking bullshit Instacart or Instacart like algorithm where your shit's going like a UPS order. I don't know. You get my point. So guys, and who's that mother and Keggy veteran? I'm trying to spice it up. Come on, work with me here, dude. Okay, for that video, that last video that was about Upside, if you guys don't, I mean, come on, it's fucking free money. I got $100 in 5 weeks doing nothing. That being said, it's helpful. So it may be long and boring, but it's helpful. There, you have that. But Keggy veteran, man, if you're not paying attention to the gas prices, shame on you. Because you should be. Because my grandfather used to always say, well, I don't exactly remember what he used to always say, but it had something to do with a dime and something like a penny and turning it into something. I don't remember. But he did tell me to always pay attention to the fucking gas. And he worked for Shell for 44 years. He was an executive. And he flat out, he's like, I don't give a shit if there's 3 Shells in one and at one intersection and there's one cheaper gas station. You go to that cheaper gas station, even if it's like hard to get to. I was like, yes, sir. That's what I'll do. He said that, and never have a lot of keys dangling from your keys, because, you know, that was back when cars had keys for all you young folks, because then that would loosen your ignition column or whatever and make it to where it was all jiggly and you could just hotwire your car. He said to never do that. And then the other last thing my grandfather said was, and I still do this, I don't know if it helps, turn off your blower, your AC, turn it off before you turn your car off, so that way when you turn your car back on, per my grandfather, there's less pressure on the, alternator maybe? I don't know. But he was a smart motherfucker. I'll tell you one other little thing that has nothing to do with Instacart or anything, but it's interesting. So in Houston, Texas, during the floods or whatever, and during Hurricane Harvey, I drove all the way from Chi-Town to Houston to help my grandmother, right? Okay, so now you know that. But she lived right on the bayou, like right in the middle of all of it. But that was where the river was flowing, but it was also flooding. And it just so happened that at their little community between Gessner and Briar Forest, and if anybody knows that, you know that's the nice hood. You know, my grandmother should be giving me fucking $20,000 allotments to reduce the tax liability on her estate. How do I bring that up? Hey, you know, Grandma, how do you start that conversation? Okay, anyway, oh dear. All right, so back to the point. So out of like the 150 townhomes, because they lived in a townhome for 39 years, never ever flooded, never got as bad as it was. Out of the 239 townhomes, there are only 2 or 3 that didn't get flooded. Well, my grandmother's got flooded by like 1/4 of an inch. It was survivable. But it was my grandfather's and his next door neighbor and somebody else. And the reason why is my grandfather specifically chose the home based on its elevation against all the other homes into the bayou. Isn't that fucking genius? And then unfortunately he died 4 or 5 years ago, so you never got to see his geniusness play out. But what a fucking smart guy. Like, you know, like fucking, yeah, next time you buy a home, why don't you check out the elevation of your fucking house compared to your neighbor? Yeah, check it out, you know, do it. But so as far as you Keggy veteran, hope you learned something from my grandfather, boy. Anyway, all right, guys, have a great day. I'm still waiting on my first batch of Instacart. I'm so bad, I know. I went shopping. I dropped $200 in 2 stores yesterday instead of doing it, and then I did another $100 in a store today. So shame on me. All right, guys, have a great week. Bye-bye.